Here are all the tips of the final boss of the new 3-star dungeon Twisted Laboratory. So Kaiser Crimson is not a super hard boss, but it needs for sure some coordination. Okay, so the major mechanic starts when the boss jumps onto the furthest player from him. Okay, now you will fear this player and you will see up to 4 purple orbs over his head. And depending on how many orbs you see, you need players in this purple area. So in this case here you see 4 orbs. So exactly 4 players need to be in this area. Not more and also not less. To make this easier, you always assign 4 players before the start of the fight. Player 1 is always the furthest player from the boss, so he will bait the jump. But then you need also the 2nd, the 3rd and the 4th player who afterwards go into this purple area. That's why we wrote here 1 to 4 in the chat. So I am number 3, means I will go always in this purple area if there are 3 or more purple balls. So right now we see 4 balls, means all 4 assigned players have to be in this purple area. If there, for example, would be just 2 purple balls, only player 2 has to go additionally into the area. Now if you play this correctly, then you see this Dark Slayer memory being created. This is super important for our next mechanic, because shortly after he will do this red AoE attack. Now, this attack will give everyone a huge debuff, which is signaled by this red orb over your head. And this debuff deals crazy damage, and additionally it gives you a healing debuff. If you don't do anything about it, then you will just die, as you can see in this clip here. The only way to survive it is if you stay in the area of this Dark Slayer memory. That's why it's so important that you don't fail the mechanic beforehand, otherwise you will 100% wipe here. But as soon as you don't have the debuff anymore, you can also leave this area again. Alright, shortly after he will then jump into the middle of the arena. And here the closest players to the boss at that moment get a red orb over their head. This red orb will create a huge AoE effect on the ground, which deals quite a bit of damage and also stuns players. So you want these 2 players to place it away from the Dark Slayer memory. After they place those, you will see all those red AoE attacks in the arena. Again, here they will deal a little bit of damage and also stun you. So just try to avoid them. Now at the end of this series of attacks, he will do one more important thing, because now you have to destroy the Dark Slayer memory again for the next mechanic. Now he will channel a fury attack again on the furthest player. This is some kind of a boomerang which bounces between players. And you have to bounce the boomerang between 3 players before it hits the Dark Slayer memory. The easiest way would be if you assign here 3 players. They could be, for example, player number 1 to 3. But in my runs in Korea that was never the case. You just had to look if there are already enough players or not. It's just important that the furthest player is in time there, because otherwise it gets really fast chaotic. But of course the easiest way is if you just assign 3 players. After this boomerang, he will do a huge AoE attack in the arena. If you destroyed the Dark Slayer memory, he will create a safe space for you. If you didn't destroy it, then you won't have this safe space. But yeah, you just run into the safe space, and that's then mostly it. Now it's rinse and repeat till the boss is dead. The boss is really not that hard. It sounds maybe a little bit more complicated, but if you did it 1 or 2 times, it's really not that complicated anymore. So, happy farming everyone, may the loot be with you. Thanks for watching and see ya in the next one.